So as I was going through my stash looking for models to build for the 48-hour challenge, I came across this, which is a F6 reboxing of their very, very old and original F6F-3 Hellcat. It's a special edition reboxing using markings for, as you can see, an ace. And they had a series of this, and this is one of them. Okay. The ace in question here is Commander David S. McCampbell of the United States Navy. And if I'm not mistaken, he's the highest scoring World War II US Navy air ace. Okay. So we're just going to, well, before we pop open the box, let's have a look around the box itself. Typical Airfix. Nice bit of side art. I like the cover art on the box. And then we have the usual information here. And one of the reasons why I was looking for kits like this to build for the 48-hour challenge is because there's only one color, right? And as usual, Humbrol provides these here. Okay, 53 I think is gunmetal. 33 is black. I'm not sure what 24 is. 181. But I think 181 is sea blue. So the whole airplane is overall sea blue. Very easy to paint. Right. Let's just pop this open. Brace yourself. First up, the very familiar Airfix instruction sheet. Looking slightly yellowed. Okay, you can see that the cockpit will need a lot of work, obviously. And there's that other thing. The aircraft, the kit itself was designed to have folding wings as an option. That's not a bad idea until you realize that for those of us who want the wings to be spread out like a proper airplane, there's a lot of work to be done. Okay. Which is why I'm in two minds about whether or not I can do this in 48 hours, but we'll see. And there we have the markings for Commander McCampbell's F6F. Yeah, 181 is overall sea blue. I'm not sure what 24 is. I think 24 is yellow, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, there are only two main colors indicated here. Okay, so that was the instruction sheet. And now we come to the main event. Okay, so first impressions. The plastic is a kind of very brittle looking plastic actually. It's familiar. It's material that I've come across before. Not very pleasant to work with. It can sometimes actually fray actually, if you know what I mean. It'll actually start to like shave out. I'm not sure how best to describe it. It comes out in little layers. Not a good thing. We'll see how this works out. Raised detail everywhere. Okay. This sprue is shows you the wheels, and the wheels are nicely detailed, I think, considering the age and vintage of the kit. All right. Detail only on one side, but that's fine because this will be covered by the wheel covers, I'm sure. So that's one sprue. Next sprue up, main wings. This is the top. Raised panel again, but very fine detail actually if you think about it. That's the wing fold. That's how complex the thing is going to look like. And can you imagine trying to glue this on and then trying to remove the seam? You'll destroy all that detail, and then you either have to shave off everything else or try to restore that. Okay. All right, let's put that aside. And then we have the lower wings. The lower wings don't have that very complex wing fold shape, but there's still a little bit of a curve there. What really needs to get filled up actually are these. These are holes in the wall, in the wing for rockets, and these are huge. I'm not going to mount rockets on this thing, okay, because I want it to be a fighter aircraft in cap mode or something. So I'm going to have to fill these. Not that difficult. You can just use some scrap sprue to go do that. And I'll show you how to do that in another video. And those are the shell ejector holes, I presume, because they line up with the guns. The holes in the wings for the guns. Probably need some cleaning up because there's a bit of flash, but nothing too dramatic considering that it's a vintage kit. Next up, engine face. I think this should, yeah, it should be fine. It's got some nice detail on those carburetors. Paint it black, dry brush it with gunmetal, should be okay. Small little bits here, tail wheel. I always like the tail wheels and the hooks on FX planes models. They tend to be quite nicely detailed. This one's no exception. The seat needs work, I think. It's a fairly nice phrase to use. Oh, can you see that? Pretty bad sink marks. Okay. But that's the upper wing. I think this is the starboard side, the right side. Okay. And if you take the other piece, that's how it's supposed to fit. Okay. Something exciting to do. Let's leave those aside for a moment. Let's look at this. Now, this is that thing down there is to hold the propeller in place. Ailerons. The other wing base, a lower wing base, and then a whole bunch of bombs and the bomb rack. The bomb rack looks quite sad actually. Undercarriage legs look very nicely formed. The rockets actually don't look too bad, but for 0-0 length missiles, rockets, a bit thick on the ends, and these really shouldn't be round shaped, right? It should be something else. I don't know. I need to just ignore those, I think. Nice touch. Airfix provides you with the base for the guns in the wing. Can you see that? Very nice. It fills up that spot. So far so good. Standard pilot figure. I'm going to build this thing wheels down. So we'll just accept it as it is. Leave this pilot out. I'm quite sure I can find a spot for him somewhere else. That's the rear bulkhead for the seat. Okay. I think it needs work too. Now, you see these. At first thought, you think there's a spare set of wheels. Why is that? Then you see that it's half relief, which means that this is actually meant to depict the wheels when they are in the plane itself, i.e., if you look at this, you know, there, right? When it's retracted, that's the word for it. Okay, so, by the way, that's the other piece for the wing, lower wing. So probably don't need those either. The gear doors, nicely formed actually. And now we come to some really important bits. The propeller. This is actually not a bad job. I think it looks fine. Should paint up pretty well. No problems there. Cowling. Everybody always complains about cowling shapes and everything else. I'm a simple fellow, so I'm just going to accept that this is okay. Right? I think I've got other more important things to worry about. And there's the other bit of the engine. That makes it even more detailed. This thing will go. Let me find that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, that goes like this. Okay? So that should look good. So, fuselage pieces, full of rivets again. And I think this should be fine. Captures the aggressive shape of the Grumman, I think. Final bit of parts, the canopy. Two-piece, which is interesting because I could actually think about posing this open. Not that I would want to, because there's really nothing much in the cockpit to look at. Should not be too difficult to mask and paint this thing. So those are the parts. Okay, now let's look at the decal sheets. Now I say decal sheets because somehow or other I managed to find a spare inside here, and I think it's because I built the Corsair before and turned it into a FAA bird, and I kept these decals, which is fine because I'm going to use this to redo my Airfix Corsair, and this is in the markings of another Ace. Can't quite get the name. I can't remember it, but it was one of these kits as well in the aircraft of the Aces series. So good job. I have the Corsair lying around somewhere. I'll rebuild it. I have to rebuild it, repaint it, and refinish it, and it'll be in these markings. It'll make a nice companion to the Hellcat. Moving on then to the actual decal sheet that needs to be used for this particular project. Let's pop that open. I try to keep all my decals in little Ziploc bags like this because it helps to preserve them. And this one looks slightly yellowed, but thankfully not on the stars. And remember that the whole airplane is navy blue, sea blue, right? So we don't have the sea blue on this as well. So the risk of out of register decals is lower. Okay, simple, and I think this should work very, very well. So I'm just going to pop that back, keep it safe, just a little while longer until I actually use them. So there you have it, the Airfix Hellcat kit. A bit of a nostalgia trip. I really, really like looking at these old Airfix kits. It brings back so many memories for me. And part of the reason for making these videos is also to share with everyone. For those of us who are of a certain age, like me, share some memories of what these model kits looked like. We may not have them in our stash. I happen to be very, very blessed to have enough space to keep stuff like this for years and years and years. So I have this, and here's an opportunity for me to share this with you, to show you what it is that we used to build, we used to get excited about. And for those other modelers who maybe are a bit younger or who are just starting out, here's a glimpse at what we, the older modelers, worked with, and what inspired us and what got us into this hobby and has kept us here all these years. For those of you who are of my age who maybe have left the hobby, never too late to come back. Stuff like this is still available from time to time, and I can always help you find them. So there we are. I hope I can do justice to this old lady, and thank you once again for joining me. I always enjoy talking about the stuff in my stash, especially stuff that I'm going to build. Thank you so much, and I will see you again.